Hello and welcome to another episode of Bible and Business. I'm Bill English, your founder of Bible and Business and your host for today. This video is the first in a series that I'm titling Foundations of Christian Stewardship. This comes from the notion that we really don't own businesses as Christian business owners. I know we own them in the American legal sense, or if you're from Britain, the British sense, or if you're from Europe or other places, the legal sense that we own it here on earth. But the reality is that God has entrusted that business to us because God owns everything. And that's really the first part of this stewardship series. And because we don't own anything and God owns everything, then everything we have is an entrustment from the Lord, from our position to our wealth, to all that we are and all that we have. It all belongs to God, and we are simply stewards of that for a short period of time while we're on this earth, stewards of that which God has entrusted to us. And so in this Foundations of Christian Stewardship series, I'm going to be going over biblical passages that illustrate each of the core principles that I think forms the foundation of our stewardship responsibilities before the Lord, our stewardship opportunities, and the joy of what it is to be a steward of that which God has given to you and to I. And so let's go ahead and get started. And let's just read through some passages here. First, the foundation of all the foundations. God is sovereign. God owns everything. And so the first foundational principle is simply this, is that God owns everything. And the corollary there is very simple. We own nothing. We really own nothing. If you've got 20 or 30 million in the bank, guess what? You don't own a blessed thing because God owns it. He owns everything and you own nothing. And here's some of the scriptures that teach this. Psalm 50 verses 10 through 12. For every animal of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know every bird in the mountains, and the insect in the fields are mine. If I were hungry, God says, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all that is in it. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 14. To the Lord your God belongs the heavens, even the highest heavens, the earth, and everything in it. Exodus 19, verses 5 through 6. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all the nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and holy nations. 1 Corinthians 10:23, just so you don't think this is only an Old Testament concept. For the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it, for he founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. Job 41:11, who has a claim, God is asking, who has a claim against me that I must pay? Everything under heaven belongs to me. Psalm 89:11, the heavens are yours, and yours are also the earth. You founded the world and all that is in it. And then I go on to write in this Bible and Business article, which is, by the way, linked to from this YouTube video. There are over a dozen more passages like this in the Bible. God owns everything and we own nothing, regardless of our current legal systems, which bestows on us ownership of material goods. In God's economy, we're simply stewards of that which he has entrusted to us. So here's a couple, 3, 4 applications. First of all, any wealth that we create through business is not ours to spend as we see fit. Instead, we should be asking God how he wants this wealth to be utilized. We're only stewards. We're not owners. So let's ask God what to do with our wealth. Secondly, our business is to be managed as well as possible. Our overriding goal should be to fulfill the 4 purposes that God has for business, which are passions, products, profits, and philanthropy. In other words, we develop the passions and the talents of the people who work with us. We only sell and deliver products and services that help the community to flourish. We create profits because that provides sustainability to the business as well as to everyone that we engage in philanthropically. Passions, products, profits, and philanthropy. Number 3, our self-worth and our identity should be found first in our relationship with God and who we are in Christ as His steward, not in our temporal positions as a business owner. And finally, we should hold our business with an open hand because you know what? We don't own it in the first place. God owns it. And we should be willing to give up ownership at any time should God call us to take on other entrustments. So, the first foundation of stewardship is that God owns everything. In future videos, I'll be going over other foundations of stewardship. But thank you for joining me today. I'm Bill English with the Bible in Business. Go out and make it a great day.